Coming up on today's Retro Robbins show, well, we're going to have some fun with some logos, going to review some more games, more games from Crash 1988, and one or two other things on today's Retro Robbins show. So remember, if you love a bit of 8-bit, then you're definitely going to love a bit of me. Join me next on Retro Robbins. I love this. Oh well, titles time. Hello, welcome to the Retro Robbins show with me, Wayne Retro Robbins. So what we're going on today's show? Well, we're going to review some more games from August 1988's Crash. The one where it had a cover of the great Gina sisters, but the game was never actually released. What a shame, because it looked like it was going to be a good game. But due to copyright reasons and legal things going on behind the scenes, it was never actually released, which was a, dreadful loss to the Spectrum community, I suppose. But we would have rated it and seen what, the game was about anyways. But that's not what we're here to do. Today's title is, of course, Spectrum, a gallery of games. And, of course, there's a reason why the word gallery's there, because we're going to have some fun with some loading screens. That's right, we're going to, by using different ways of changing your own loading screen, thanks to this program coming up in a moment. Today's computer of choice is the Spectrum 128K Toast Rack, and it's the only computer for the job. My favourite computer is the rubber keyboard, but the Toast Rack comes very close. But they're all my favourites really. And as always, today's show is run on real Spectrum hardware, not an emulation inside here. No siree. We don't hook up a computer to review Spectrum games. We actually put the Spectrum games on the computer itself. The ZX Spectrum or the 48K Spectrum plus 2 plus 3, including the Omni and soon the Next. It's real hardware for real games, for real Spectrum lovers, the real community. So, what are we talking about with these loading screens? Well, I'll show you now. And of course it was by, your Sinclair readers had this multi-load written by, it's saying YS, by Simon Owen, and it's a good way of saving your own artwork. In fact, I've done an entire tape load of all my favourite loading screens, which I'll probably play afterwards, on the computer. So let's run this and show you what it's all about. So first of all, you have to load your file in. It's asking you to load new file or continue, but obviously we're going to need to load a file. I'm not going to subject you to the loading sound. Press space to select. You have to load it headless, and of course you might have to, especially with some of the hyperload games, if you've got a multi-face, while it's loading just press the red button. You can save the screen string in normal saving mode, in order for you to nick their screen and string the data file, if you like, basically the artwork, if you want to have a little play about yourself. But we're going to choose this one, Commando, and we're going to show you what we're going to do with it, and then we're going to show you the result. Just let it load through. Okay, so now we go down to continue. There we go. And it asks you, do you want to load the attributes first or indeed the data? I'm just switching the cassettes while I'm doing this. So we want to load the attributes first. Yeah. Attributes first. Then it'll ask you, which way do you want to load the data from? You can go normal, backwards, top to bottom, bottom to top, left to right, right to left. That's right, isn't it? Just check that I've got left and right and the right way around. Or even random, which is great. So we're going to go from right to left, I think. Let's try right to left. And this is the screen data. And then it'll ask you which way you want to load the attributes. Normal, backwards, left to right, right to left, spiraling inwards, which is fun, diagonal, or just random everywhere. We're going to go for, well, we're going to go left to right, shall we? Or do we go diagonal? Oh, we'll go left to right. We'll do the opposite way around, yeah. And now you choose whether you want to, the borders. You can have it multicoloured, normal, or masked. And I think we'll go masked, yeah. And what colour should we choose? What colour was, it was yellow, wasn't it really? Was it green? I would say it was, I'd say yeah. Well, we'll go for green. I might have got this wrong, but we'll see. Then it asks you which speed. Now you've got 3 different speeds to choose from. 4 if you count the last one. However, the last one, as it says, most tape recorders can't actually cope with that. But we're going to go for the fast one. And then we're going to save the data. And that will just save the data. What it'll do, it'll save the data it needs to load the headless screen string in the way that you want it to load. It's great if you're going to do your own loading system. I've done an entire game using the logo and then using the code from Critical Mass of their loading system, which if you hack it, you can use that to save games, which I've showed you in a previous episode. So anyway, without no further ado, let's just reset the computer, because I've already done the saving for you, so you don't have to hang about too long. Oh. Just had to put my tape in. Right then, I forgot to put the tape in actually. So once you've done it, it'll tell you how to do it. So what you'll need to do, if you want to put a CLS or something, I'll tell you what we'll do. Paper 6, yeah. Border 6. CLS. Just make it look good. Load, speech. Oops. Can't quite see the screen, that's why I have to, you know, the camera's slightly in the way. Load speech code, then you have to put a randomise USR, and it's 64000. Obviously, as I once told you before, the code is always kept for loading, is kept towards the end of the memory of the computer. And we'll put a pause note in. So let's have a look at the results, shall we? I have one I done earlier. Been having fun with this all week, I love it. I think it's a cracking little program. So this is the loader bit. And we've masked it, and we did mask it green, but with the yellow it's a good contrast. Attributes left to right, and of course right to left. And you can see it loading very nicely into here. How cool is that? So you can do one or two of your own logos. Try it with attributes. I would like to go attributes first, unless there isn't much to see in the attributes. Because you can have a bit of fun actually with the attributes there. You can try and guess the game. You might not get it, but yeah, you may do. Classic loading screen commando. It's up fast. There's ultra fast as well. And the border colours are good, but I've done an entire tape of these. Pretty good, to be honest. I've just run a basic program at each start, and it just goes to load speech again, load speech. Simon Owen from Your Sinclair, thank you for that program. Helps guys like me who isn't good enough to code, but we can use it in a basic form, and we can make our basic games look professionally done with our own artwork using artist or graphics. Graphics was my one of choice, so that's that one. But we're not going to do a bit more than that, of course. Also, just have a look at the corner. Thank you to the guys that made me that clock. Dean Jones's cues, and of course it was Dean Jones who did the painting, and Gary Ford that did the engraving and cutting of the clock for me. Just out of the blue, because they know I like my retro, and that's just another little bit of extra that I'm going to use on the programme from now on. Thank you very much. And of course, thank you to Ricky once again. He sent me through his TZX Arduino. It's not Arduino, it's his player for me, and that works a treat. You've seen me review that before on a previous show. So, without no further ado, let's go to today's first review. And you're going to bear with me a second while I quickly change around the hardware. And we're still going to be using the toast rack because it's the computer of choice. Back in 2 clicks. So this is today's first review, and of course it is Road Blasters. So what did Crash make of this game? It is of course by US Gold, but if you notice also in the corner it's got the little Atari logo. So we're going to zoom in on the picture now for you, just so you've got a nice big picture. And don't worry about the clock, it's not really in the way, is it? Bit of Retro Robbins dodgy camera work. And of course, as always, I've not subjected you to the sound of the loading screen. So let's have a look what Crash in the magazine of 1988 reviewed this with presentation at 85%, which is pretty high, graphics at 78%, playability at 86%, and addictive qualities at 84%. So its overall rating was 84%. And of course I turned off the AY sound for now because this, once it loads, let me just plug the sound back into the television for you. And we're nearly there. Nice logo, very colourful. Yeah, so any minute now the game will load and we can complete this review. And as always, I always give it a marks out of 10 rating rather than a percentage, and see what we think of the game. And as always, I'll be using it on joystick. Thanks to Dior for doing that. Also available from ZX Renew, one of his suppliers for over here, if you want me a bit faster. But yeah, it's cool. So let's have a look at this game. It's taking a while because I've got the 128K version loading up. Takes a long time. I've also been reviewing some games via the Commodore, compared them to the Spectrum games. I haven't got a program for that yet, but I did do a comparison between Amaroti and the Spectrum version. Smashes the Commodore one into smithereens. Commodore one was just almost a different game, not the same. Anyway, moving on to the game. You get to choose obviously your first city. I like the future one, so we'll go there, press fire. And it's pretty good scrolling. I'm using the Kempston interface on the well, I forgot to tell you, on the peripheral I'm using. Oh, that car's got armoured, so it's really hard. Yeah, you can shoot all the cars as you go along. There's little round white spots. It's quite smooth. Scrolling's pretty good, to be honest. You need to click those for fuel. Yes, and if you click those little round things as well, bonus fuel. You've got a reserve tank and a main tank. You need that, so we're going to get that. Oh, there's that armoured car again, solid. Sometimes you get a little alien craft come down and drop you some extra hardware for your car. Oh, I need the fuel, get over there. I've missed that one. Yes, got that one. You also get oil slicks on the road. This is intense concentration. And there's that oil slick I just right on cue talked about. We need that. You don't have to shoot every car, but you know, it's good to... That's the first level complete. Get a bonus, nice colourful scroll up. Good AY sound, isn't it, really? I do like it. Quite a groovy sound. Don't know how well you can hear that. Moving on to the next one. And any minute now, yeah, this could be... You get a mines, I think, on this one. When you get mines, you get a mine alert. It is a little red blinking light that will start to flash. And there's that alien ship I was talking about. And you can see there's like a huge cannon on the front of the car, giving you more firepower. And there's your alarm for your mines. This game is quite quite fun and addictive. I don't know how I managed to survive that. It's got good collision control. It's fairly fair. You can almost scrape the car with the side and not die, but if you hit it head on, obviously it will kill you. It's very addictive, very fun to play. Didn't quite make a crash smash, but I'll tell you what, I love Kit. I really do. I think it's you don't go flying off the road if you do a wrong turn every time, but you can crash if you come off the road. Well, usually find if you've got mines, avoid the outside lanes, and there we go. So that's Road Blasters. I'm going to give that a full 9 out of 10. If you've not seen it before, give it a go. It's worth a try. It's a good game, I promise you. Let's return to the AY sound and move on to today's next review. Picking up my magazine. And the peripheral I've got plugged into the back is the V2 smart card. Tells you there what it is. I think it's a cracking device, of course. So the next game we're going to review, I'm sure you've all played this one before. Battleships. There's the loading screen by the Hit Squad. Quality game. So we're going to go for one player, but first of all let's select the controls. 6 for controls. We're going to go, obviously, because it's on the V2 smart card, it's a Kempston joystick interface. And 2 for one player. And start. First of all, if you're down here, you've got this little cross, so you pick your ship that you want to place. For instance, that one. Click on it, and you move it to wherever you want to put it. Click off it. Go down to rotation on. Click on the same ship, and you can rotate it into whichever direction you want. And I think that's the most important one there. Hide that well. Right, because if you hide that one well, it's the hardest one to get. You get 24 shots per ship. It's random whether you go first or he goes first. On this occasion he's gone first, and he's going to pepper the field with his 24 shots, and then of course you get a chance to do your 24 shots. Sometimes if you click on them twice you can cancel it. Let's see if he actually hits one of my ships. No, that's a good start for me, because then I get 24 shots onto him. The advantage is with the person that goes second, to be honest. Ready, player 2. Just do a little diagonal one. See if we hit anything. We've got one, so we know roughly where the location of that ship is. So that means we're ahead. I mean, the sooner you can sink his ships, the better. Gotta wait for him to have a few goes. I'm gonna sink one of his ships. You'll watch it go down in a minute. Just gonna surround it with the bombs and get rid of it. He's peppering that corner. I hope there's nothing in the. There is something in that corner from the right, isn't there? I think he's hitting the big one. He's hitting the carrier. Oh, he's got 2 of them. Oh, we're getting hammered. Oh, he's hit that one twice. It's just one blow away from sinking. I'm going to get one of his ships before he gets one of mine. Yeah, okay. Right, let's surround this guy. That should do it. Couldn't it, eh? Let's have a look, see if we get to sink him. Get in there. There you go. So that's Battleships. I'm going to give that a full Retro Robbins special. Great to play on your own, but great if you got 2 players. Just send your mates out the room and say, I'm going to sink these ships, of course. And there you saw the ship go down. It was brilliant. Before he destroys me, we'll move on to the next game. Just reset the computer. Yes, 9 out of 10, definitely. What did Crash make of that? Did I give you the presentation reading? Oh, I didn't, did I? 79% presentation, graphics 68%, playability 70%, 77% that is even. Its overall rating was 78%. We're giving it a 9 out of 10. So the next game is, I'm going to go for this one, of course. Ready, steady, go. It's got a poor rating, this one, hasn't it? In fact, it's got some of the lowest ratings. I've seen one lower than this, believe it or not. We're going to go for one player. Right, presentation 12%. Wow, that's mean. Graphics 8%. Playability 11%. Addictive qualities 8%. Wow. Its overall rating was 13%. Was a budget game at £1.99 by Alternative Software. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Just going to put AAA. We'll press 5 for Kempston. And of course we will play that one. Takes a few minutes. Come on. Ready at last. So you're going to run around the track. It's a joystick game. Press the fire button to the jump, but in that case I just run through it, didn't I? Hey, there you go. And you can see the thing at the top shows you how fast you're wobbling your joystick. You'll slow down, of course, if you run into the barriers. I'm going to need a new joystick. I'm already bored of this game. I'm out of breath. Not as fit as I used to be. No, it isn't going to work for me, is it? So what do we think of this game? Well, it's a tough one to call, really. The graphics at 8% is a little bit mean. They're not too bad sprites, so I thought it was better than that. But addictive quality is 8%. Well, I'm already bored of it already because it's too hard to, you know, at least Daily Thompson Decathlon you'd move. So dismal racing for me. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Maybe you'll think differently. So let's move on to another game. Not my personal cup of tea. So let's have a look at the next game we're going to review. Is, of course, Stunt Bike Simulator. Well, I like the way this is going to load. This would be a one of them horrible bleep loaders that I really find annoying. They torture you waiting for the game, and then eventually you get there. They tend to work in loading all the time now. So, presentation 53%, graphics 52%, playability 61%, addictive qualities 54%, and overall ratings 55%. And of course it was by Silverbird. It was a budget game at $1.99. I forgot to give you the addictive qualities of battleships. That had that at 78%, same as the overall rating. So let's have a look at what we need to make of this game. I find it blooming hard, to be honest. Attempt 1. Now you need to line your motorbike up with the guy at the front there on the glider, and then when you're in line you press and you try and land on it, and which should be about now. Yes, and once you're on it, great, it's your stunt. Hang on, well done, you've finished the hang on glider drop. Press fire, attempt number 1. Oh. hard. Yeah, it's good graphics, to be honest. The good thing is when you do crash, you've got, you know, you kind of have to go slow. I'm supposed to wheelie, aren't I? That's a hole, so we can't wheelie over that, but we can wheelie over them. Keep crashing like mad. Stunt bike simulator, and of course, unusually, the word simulator is more renowned for Codemasters. Oh yeah, you can brake hard as well, but yes, I was too slow. What are we going to rate that at? Well, they've got it at 55%, which is a 5 out of 10. Graphically was 52%. I think that was mean crash. It's a lot better graphics than that. That's not bad at all, to be quite honest. So I would say it's a little bit better than that. I'm going to give that. I'm not going to be too disagreeing with Crash, but you know, did it stand the test of time? Yeah, it could be a game I could get into. A little bit hard to land that glider, onto the bike to start with, but once you get into the game, it's not too bad itself. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. Why not? Should we move on to another game? Indeed we shall. Bye bye, Stunt Bike Racer. Okay, let's have a look today at oh, we've done that yet. Octane. Now this one's decent. Right, so 58% presentation, graphics 60%, playability 58%, addictive quality is 54%, overall rating 80, 51%. It's quite low, isn't it? Silverbird, budget game again, $2.99. And let's have a look at this one, shall we? Nice big graphical display. And of course you can define your keys. I love games you can define your keys, but on this occasion we're going to go for the Kempson as I've already got it plugged in. And now to play the game. It is of course a good old fashioned shoot 'em up. Nice, oh, very nice scrolling. And as always, I'm terrible at shoot 'em ups, but however, hard luck, get on with it. You don't start from the very start. I don't believe anyway. Isn't it annoying when you're playing a game and you've used fire usually to start it again, but you have to press space on your keyboard to get going again on this one. You've got to power up. It's graphically very good, isn't it? Obviously it's a monocolour on the, it helps that does. Oh, got some extra weapons here. I don't think I've actually killed a set of aliens yet, have I? If you notice, the missiles kind of guide the way into you. And there, I'm dead. Okay, let's give that a rating. That's the last game of review of today, of course. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Worth a go. It's a good shoot 'em up. It's a little bit slow at times. The graphics are well done. It's better than what they've said, but definitely 8 out of 10. And of course, from me, Retro Robbins, thank you for watching. As always, if you like the show, please like, subscribe and share. And I'll be doing some more shows like this in future, reviewing the old games from Crash, bringing it to an up-to-date review, and seeing, hopefully, to show you something you may have forgotten about or not seen before. And if you're friends and family of mine and you've recently heard, I've lost a friend of mine, unfortunately, by the name of Darren Jones. There's a little tribute to him that I'm going to do after the ending titles. But in the meantime, for me, Retro Robbins, everybody have a nice working weekend. Remember, retro is always best used on real hardware. It's alright, there was a YouTuber reviewing games, never had a Spectrum, never owned a Spectrum, but he was reviewing games on a laptop, making out that he knew what he was talking about. It just annoyed me. I mean, it was good effort, but there's a reason why he only got 12 subscribers. Oh, I'm getting bitter in my old age. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now. Hi, this is for anybody that knows me from the local community and friends and family. It's a little tribute to a mate of mine, one we grew up with over the park, and there was plenty of people who knew him. By the name of Darren Jones, sadly died on the 20th for the 11th 2020 whilst driving his lorry. Suspected a heart attack, and of course he's turned his van into the crash barrier, possibly to avoid hitting anybody else, and he'd probably sacrifice himself, because that's the sort of person that Darren was, a really kind-hearted guy. If anyone could drag me off my Spectrum computer, it'd be Darren. He loved football. He was a big Aston Villa fan, but he'd support anybody. He could go and watch a match when he was younger. He'd go to an Albion game with us. He'd wear his Villa top though, but he'd enjoy the games. Welby and Wolves, it didn't matter where. International football. Like to have a drink every now and then. We used to be regulars in the Royal Oak, which is sadly no more as well, when we was younger. And yeah, he's a cracking guy. I thought I'd show you a couple of pictures of him as well. This is him in his later years. Good old Darren. And there he is with his lovely girl Jenny, I believe. It is Jenny, is it? Yeah. Yeah, big guy, big stature. He was a lorry driver. You know, he had a bit of wit about him. I used to give him some lip, give him the usual cheek, you know, stuff like. It's the only person I know who's a lorry driver that the van can be empty, and when he gets in, he'd be overweight. He gave me a few dead arms for that one. And for a big guy, he could move pretty fast, and obviously when he was younger, he was very fast. Used to play in Sunday League football and Saturday League football, and yeah, he was cracking. He used to nutmeg me a few times, and that's where we're playing. And for all people who don't know what a nutmeg is, it's where the footballers comes running after you, and you've got the ball, and he'll take it off you and then pass it between your legs and go around you and leave you standing there. Thanks for that, Darren. Make you look silly. Yeah, we went to the Madness concert together, and we did a fair few things, and sadly he is no more. And so God bless you, Darren. God rest your soul, and my warmest feelings to all his friends and family who know Darren Jones. And gone but never going to be forgotten, certainly not by me. I lived across the road from him for years, and it's a bit of a shock, but yeah, to all his friends and his family, you have my commiserations. It's Retro Robbins, thank you for watching, goodbye.